Well, good evening, everybody. Who'd have thought? Another tangle session. I did actually on the title put OMG because, my goodness me, 61 tiles. But a little bit of a change to the time this evening, so if you can join me, that's really great. Thank you. It's been a bit of a busy day, and the drive home after being to Peterborough it's quite tiring. So it was just nice to have an hour out this afternoon and just have a cup of tea and fuss the dogs, and then focus on what we're going to do this evening. Now you'll notice this evening that I've omitted something. I've not got my black Sakura pen. I've got the white pen. I've got my pencil and my tortillon, and I think this time, normally I don't sort of say or tell you which tile to use, but really for this particular, not the pattern as such, but for the shading technique, you really don't want to be using a cream or a white tile, because obviously we're going to be using a white pen. So maybe something slightly more pastel. I'm going to use the lighter of the greys, but maybe one of the bright yellows or a light blue, something along those lines. So don't go too strong with it. I know white pen, you think black tile. Don't do black tile because this effect, otherwise it won't work. So, thank you, Jenny. I really enjoyed it today. It was a really nice atmosphere. It was really chilled. And all those little beach scenes, and they got like the sea noises coming on, and it was just lovely. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, really enjoyed it. So okay, are we ready to start then? So of course, name, date, tile number. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris, but you can catch us later. That's absolutely fine. I know if it's not always live, I know you managed to get round to doing it. That's not a problem. Okay. So, thank you, Chris. Hi, Pat. Okay, so I'm going to start then with my white pen. I'm going to move those out of the way. Okay. Oh, sitting in Butlins. Nice. Did you get book 3? Oh, no, Sally. Did they sell out? Oh, my goodness me. Do you know, I can't tell you how many we brought, because I've had to make them all. And oh my goodness me. But obviously we do make them, so what I shall do, I'll get all the orders out for Create and Craft, and then I will put them on my site. And it's the same with the lovely little double tile box. If you remember not long ago, you did ask me about that, so we've done that for you. So okay, are we ready then? Oh, did you see them, Julie? Yeah, they are a regular choice. I do like my fancy shoes. I actually do have a pair, and they're bright blue with black hearts. They're quite nice. All right, so I'm sort of creating it's sort of in between a square and a circle. It's just giving it a little bit of definition there. So it's almost, but it's got these lovely curved edges, okay? And I'm sort of in the middle. If you don't quite get the middle, it really doesn't matter. So, okay. All right, so next bit then. Deep breath. It's all good. I'm going to go a little bit larger now so you can see. I just wanted you to see where I'd drawn that on the tile. So I'm going to sort of imagine that it's sort of this sort of length, and I'm going to add in a little one of those lovely little leaf type shapes there. You see I've lined it up, and then I'm going to line it up here. So I'll draw another one. Okay, turn it round, and I'm going to do the same again. Now, if they're not all the same length apart, don't worry about it. I'm just giving you a bit of a guide as to where they're going to go. Turning it round, and then the next one. I think it was really nice today that Dean had a go. He was really keen to try it. He's not done it in ages. Will you let me have a go? So it's always nice when you get a presenter that wants to try it. It was lovely. You did a really good job. Okay, so there we go. We've got this kind of pattern. So there's my sort of squished circular square in the middle, and then I've got these little leaf shapes. Okay. Deconstructed bunny. All right. So I want you to think now, letter C. Okay, so what I'm going to do is work from this side here. So this side of the sleeve, see I've got this curve going on, and I'm going to bring it round and down to this one here. So I'm not the narrow one, see where I've got this wider part. So follow that round and nice and gentle and bring it into that one there. Okay. Sandra, it's a jelly roll, it's a Sakura. There you go. I know I've got an 08. I do have some 05s as well, but 08 seems to be the generic one that everybody's got. But I do actually want it to be a little bit, sort of, I say thicker, if anything, a bit wider here, so that's okay. Oh, hi Garth, did you see your tile in the book? Oh, hey Denise. I really got that in at the end. I really wanted to show that, but I didn't want to sort of like, you know, spend showing it and go through every single one. I didn't want to embarrass anybody, but they're all in there and they all look fabulous. So you can see I am doing the same sort of thing. I've joined my two little leaf shapes and then I've auraed around the outside. Oh, I am, Joe. Yes, I went to the office just to check on things over there, and I got in. I think he was about, what time? I can't remember now. 3ish, I think. But we've been up at, well, I was up at 6, out by 5:30. I do like my sleep, so it's quite a drive there and back in a day. And then, of course, you know, you do the show. I do get tired, so I didn't spend all my time at the office. I just went and checked on things, put a few orders together for my website, and they're ready for posting tomorrow. And then came home and had a fuss from Seth and Benji. Oh, I think you did, Sue, yes. Okay, so there we go, this odd sort of shape. I want quite a bit of space, so don't worry if you think, oh, it's a little bit empty. That's not a problem. That's what I want. Okay, coming back in then. So now I'm going to focus on this section here. So again, using this sort of little leaf shape, I'm going to come off that one and curve it round and join it to that one there. There we go. And then I'm just going to join them together if it's loose. Alright. And round with this one here. So I've just done an aura around that. We know what an aura is. I'm just drawing around the shape. And then again, this one, follow it round and into this one. Oh, vai, yeah. Oh, I suppose so, yes, Tina. Oh, Joe, I hope your cold goes better soon. There's nothing worse having a cold when you think you shouldn't have one in the summer. But then again, is it summer, really? Alright, and same with this one. And around there. There we go. I'm just going to join that to that. And into this one. Same again. From there. And then I'm going to aura around that one there. Okay, let's have a look at that so far. Gives me the opportunity to have a quick sip of my cup of tea that John's just made me. It's just been, it got back from the office and I'm like, yeah, cup of tea would be great. Oh, it's good. Okay. Deep breath. So here we go. I'm going to sort of imagine that I've got a line going up here now. Let's sort of put a little dot. See, just a little, just as a marker. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to join this line up to that dot there. And then I'm going to bring this one round and up to the dot there. And up there. And up there. Okay. Oh, sorry about that, Sue. So we took as many as we could. But, you know, with it being a new product, you never know how it's going to go. So as soon as I've got them packed and ready for courier, I will get some more made. and put them on the shop. Oh, Angela, you should have sent me one. Maybe for the next book. Who knows what's going to be in the next book? Gosh, we're talking about the next book. I've only just brought this one out. They do take some doing. All right. Okay, and the next one. See that dot? If you don't think you need that dot, it doesn't matter. You don't have to put it in. I think it's nice to have a bit of a guide, isn't it? So you know where you're going. All right, let's have a look at that then. All right. So again, don't worry if these are all different sizes and some are wider than others. It's what makes it. It's not a problem there. Okay. Next bit then. Right. So what I'm going to do now. Remember these little curves that we've started here. I'm going to use them to help me create a shape. So imagine I'm working my way around. All right. This is not something that we've not done before. It's just a slightly different version. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it round and I'm going to aim for the centre here, but not touching the line. So here we go. I'm going to go around and I'm not going to touch the line. Okay. And then next bit from here, and I'm going to come to this one. Again, I'm not going to touch that line, you see? Just slightly short of it. Oh, hey Jackie then, hi. I'm glad you like it, Pat. It's always nice to have a critic. There you go. You haven't seen the next bit yet. You don't know what's coming. Oh, no, it's nice. I thought we'd try something. It's not a particular tricky one, but it's a nice one to do with a bit of shading, I think. Okay? So I'm going to come back. You see where I've just done this line here? I'm going to aura this line, but I'm going to start it back here onto this curve. So I'm going to come around and then go around here, and then this one's going to join the top. See? Okay, and then turn it round again. So looking at this line here, I'm going to join from here, and then I'm going to work it round and up. I'm so sorry if I'm in fast speed mode, by the way. I don't mean to be. I try and slow it down a little bit. But, I've been sort of speed tangling, I suppose, all day. When you're trying to get a lot of demos done, you've got to be a little bit quicker. And I think you get into that mode. So again, look, here's that curve following around. So I'm going to aura, which draw around. See, follow that line that I've got there. And around here, see, that's just going to go underneath and touch the line there. Maybe it's a bit Celtic. Maybe you caught me. Alright, so next bit then. See here? I'm going to follow this line around, but instead of going over that line, I'm going to go underneath. See? Just a little line. Same with this one. Underneath. So let's turn the tile again. And then this one is going to go underneath, underneath. Okay, and then here we go again. So I'm just following these lines. See these two lines? They're going underneath. It's almost like they need somewhere to go. They're not quite finished. So we've got to sort of do that. We've got to create that sort of pathway. So here, look, it's like stopped in midair. We've got to finish it. So let's take it under there. And under there. Okay. Oh, Sandra, ideas come from all over the place. It's, you know, I don't think anything's totally new. See, again, look, it needs to be finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it from here and join it underneath. And I think I take my inspiration from traditional tangle patterns and, you know, mix it up a little bit. And then just do my own thing. So some of them you might recognise. So here, look, I've got this line. It's coming, there we go, all the way around. And then it's going underneath here. And then it sort of stops. So what we want to do is join this line all the way up here to this one. And then to this one. Okay, you might recognise this one actually. I did demonstrate it earlier on the show, but we did the it was like a triangle instead of the sort of a square. It was, I think was it my last demo after the lotus? Yeah. So it's a pattern we've done before, but we've just done it in a slightly different shape. All right, let's have a look then. Let's see where we're at with that. Okay, so it's almost done. So let's just have a quick look at it. We've got this space. We've got these lines now, and it's almost like a never-ending kind of pattern, isn't it? And then we've got these lovely teardroppy shapes. And then we've got these lovely little shapes here. Now, oh, you see the problem here, look. We've actually got part of a shape, but it's not quite finished. Remember me saying about following those lines? So what I'm going to do is come in here and go underneath and join it to that one. See? Now it's finished. So let's do the same again. I'm going to turn it this way because we're using the gel pen. You see there to there? It can smudge because it takes a little bit longer to dry. And then again. See how complex this looks, and all we've done is followed a few little leaf shapes at the beginning. Yes, part of the design, but they've blended into it all now, and you'd think, oh my goodness me, how did I start that and where did that happen? Look at that. It's just lovely, isn't it? I like doing these. I think they're really intricate and they just look stunning, don't they? I mean, even that on its own looks great, but I want to do some shading techniques tonight with it. So let's see where we're going to go from here. Quick sip of tea, of course. All right. So underneath these spaces here, you see I've got this sort of shape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just put in some lines just in that spot there. Okay. Yeah, that's the one, Sue. The one that looked like it got the pea pods in it. It's absolutely beautiful, that one. So I think, you know, I did it in the show today with some colours around it as well. I don't know if I've got that with me or I left some stuff at the office. See? There you go. That one in there. Oh, you're welcome, Karen. It was touch and go. but I did it. Alright, okay. You see there now we're starting to sort of have a little bit of a pattern going. Oh, thank you, Sue. I could do with my hair cutting. I think it's getting to the point now where I'm not quite sure, you know, whether I should be tied it up all the time. I don't know. It's starting to look a bit untidy. But I did my best. I brushed it anyway, so it's all good. All right. Okay. Oh, thank you, Bernadette. Right, so I'm going to put this pen away for a second and I'm going to come in with my pencil. Now, it's important that you have a sharp pencil. I've actually, you know, on purpose made sure it's nice and sharp for what we're doing. But it's just, oh, thank you, Pat. I wasn't after compliment. Well, yeah, thank you. All right. So, yeah, sharp pencil. Right, let's just have a look at this for a minute. And I'm just going to start with this pointed section here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on the inside of this white line. Let's go a little bit. Oh, hi there. All right. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Dodge. Oh, I need to see some of her work then. Come on, bring it on. All right, sharp pencil. And I'm just going to add some pencil, you see, on the inside of that white line. And then let's follow it round. Just going to go to about there. And then the same here. So it's the same side of the white line, what you can see now. I'm going to go over that there. Okay. And then add some here and then underneath there. See, I'm not going to go all the way around now. And then here on the inside of that line. Okay, I'll put a little bit there. All right. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Yeah, I was relaxed today. To be honest, that's where I can have a day off. Almost, I have a break when I go there instead of being in the workshop. It's lovely, and it's you know, it's nice to actually, you know, put something smart on and wear my shoes and things. Yeah. Okay, so I've moved on now to the ring here, and I'm working on the inside of that white line again. You see, but I'm just adding it. I'm going to stop about there. You see, that's why I've got a sharp pencil, because I'm adding it here and I don't want it to go over here. Yes, Create and Craft is in America as well. Yeah, I do get some American orders. And of course, some of you are on here that do that, and Spain, and Canada, and Australia. It's lovely. It's amazing how far it reaches. So you see, I've gone on this side of the line, so each time I'm doing the same side of the line. Okay, so let's move down a little bit. I'm going to sort of keep the tile together so you can see where I'm working. So looking at this shape, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to put some pencil that side of the line, see, and then that side of the line. Now you see, if the white pen goes over something, I'm sort of copying that with my pen or my pencil as well. So then here, this side of the line. There we go. And then this side. Okay. It's a drawing pencil, Sally, yeah, regular pencil. The usual one, but I've sharpened it, so it's got a nice fine point. Okay. So you can see where this is going. I'm continuing with the same sort of line each time. So here, look, I'm going to work on the inside of the line, okay, and then this side of the line. All right. Yeah, it's just a really nice pencil. I really got lucky when I found them. And of course, it's always nice to have one's name on it as well. But yeah, I mean, it does feel quite soft. You would think it's just a regular HB, but it's slightly softer. I wouldn't say it was quite a B pencil, but it's certainly it's a nice pencil to work with. And of course, if you've got one of my kits, or you'll find that you've got one of these pencils in there. At least one of the newer ones, anyway. There we go. So say again, look, I'm on the inside, and then the same sort of one there. Okay. So again, I'm not necessarily going all the way around. I'm just doing aspects of it. Okay. Oh, Margarita, if you found some really nice ones, we need to know. We need to know where. Just regular white chalky pencils are really quite hard to find. Okay. Now I'm on purpose not showing you the whole thing, because I want it to, you know, I want you to see it when it's done. But I'll do half, and then I'll do a wide screenshot, and you can see how it's looking. Okay. You see, each time I'm just repeating that kind of shading pattern. There we go. And just going on that side of the line and that side of the line. It is important that you don't put a load on. We want that sort of contrast. Oh, it's a pencil, Sally. It needs doing. Needs doing. Yeah, there you go. So you can see where we're working with this pencil now. And I'm just gonna, on the other side, I'm just gonna do exactly the same sort of thing. Now, if you think, oh, I don't know which side, just as long as this side, this one and this one, you do it on the same side. Yeah, I see I've swapped sides there, but that's okay. As long as you do it here and here, it's the same. Still giving it a little bit of dimensions. I see I'm going to put all three there, just because I can. All right, so we need some here. and then along this one, and that'll go on the inside there. Now you see, oh, here I've left, see there's a little bit of white of space there. I need to go in with my pen and just add that little line in there. Okay. It might be, Lindsay, it's just how I've done it. Sometimes it's hard to see what I'm doing when I'm on camera as well. But don't worry about it. See, I've got one on the inside, one on the outside. Here I did a few extra, but that's okay. That's fine. I'm not worried. See, when I get to here, it would sort of be, yeah, I'd still go on the outside, but part of me, my sort of shading wants to swap lines, you know, because you'll see it. But it's entirely up to you. You can just keep it all the way around. It's just how I've sort of done it. There's no real rules. It's just, you know, try and keep them on the same side if possible. See here, I did, and there. So, sorry if I've confused you. But I think it's sometimes it's a little bit tricky to explain. It's, you know, find your way. There's no right or wrong. See here, I'm gonna go in there and in there. There we go. And I don't want to go into all the nitty gritty of shading and where the light source comes from. I don't want us to worry about that. As long as you've got some shadow in there, it'll be good. There we go. A little bit there, look. Okay, let's have a look how that is so far. Okay. Oh, don't worry about it, Lindsay. You know, if it's not right at the end of it, it's a bit of paper and it's a pencil, you can rub it out. But do you know what? It really, honestly, it really doesn't matter. And I know it's easy for me to say that, and you're trying to learn and you're trying to get the ideas, but don't get yourself bogged down with rules and regulations. Just sort of go with the flow. And yeah, if I've got a few extra, it don't matter. Okay. Oh, margarita, yeah, totally forgot. I do apologise. I will do that. So if I've not sort of done anything about that tomorrow, message me. Okay. So I'm going in now with my torch on. Let's go a little bit bigger so you can see it. There you go. Really see that now. Look, I've even got it. There you go. And what I'm going to do is just soften the edges of that pencil. Now you see on this bit where I'm on the inside, I've been quite careful. I didn't want to sort of take it too far, but here where it's sort of on the outside of the shape, let's just take it a little bit further. Okay, so here I can go on in and I can extend it a little bit, so I don't mind it being a bit too there. But in here I'm just going to touch it gently. Alright, because I don't want to fill the whole thing. So wherever you've put a little bit of pencil, let's have a look at that. Yeah, you can see there that it's still quite strong there, but in here I've gone in and I've sort of pushed it a little bit further out. Alright, so let's have a look at this one. So again, just nice and gentle here. I'm not going to do it too much. There we go. Just gently softening that edge, just as much as it needs to soften it. And then the section was outside the shape, I can sort of let loose a little bit, and I can shade it a little bit more. See that one and that one. Alright, so on the inside, oh, there we go. Hang on. Where am I? Oh, there you go. The inside just a little bit. There you go. So whether you want to do all the insides first, then come and do the outsides, it's all up to you. But just gradual with that one, even over those lines. There we go. There we are. Just softening the edge. We're not trying to move the pencil too much. We're just trying to give it a little bit of a softer side. Whereas here we can sort of work more into shadow. There we go. This bit here, see, I can add a little bit more pressure there. Over that one. See, straight over that white line. Oh, I do apologise. There we go. I'm getting carried away again and losing you on the camera. Let's go out a little bit. There we are. So, and this is quite unusual, isn't it? 'Cause sometimes, you know, if you're using a slightly darker tile, we go in with a white chalky pencil and put the highlights and things in. But we're using a white pen and a black pencil. It's not the norm, but it certainly gives you a really nice effect. So just working my way around here, adding in those little bits of shading. There. Let's have a look at it in a minute when I've done this one, see where we're at. There we go. Okay, so you can see, look, the difference where we've started to soften the lines here. These are still quite harsh. So I'm just going to turn my tile round just so I don't lean over everything. And then I'm going to continue just to, see now, because I've moved it, it doesn't really matter where the light's coming from. I've just got to follow that, you know, a soft touch on the inside and travel a little bit further on the outside of those shapes. Of course, if you feel that you need to add a little bit more pencil, then go ahead and add a bit more. It's absolutely fine. We're not sort of restricted to what we can and can't use. It's just go back in if you feel you need to. There we go. It's just you know, adding a bit of pressure here because I really want this to move. There we go. Oh, bye, Margarita. It's really nice, you know, you start to know people and you recognise their names. That's lovely. It feels a bit different, doesn't it, doing this in the evening? It's slightly more chilled. And that's not me saying slightly more chilled because I've got a glass of wine, because I haven't. Not yet, anyway. Which I'm a lot better now. When I was teaching full time, I think I did drink a bit too much wine. I think. But I think, is that every school teacher? Maybe. I don't know. It's a very stressful job. I wouldn't want to go back and do that again, if I'm honest. No, thank you. But you know, I enjoyed teaching. I enjoyed working with the kids, especially in the practical. I don't know how they will be doing practical. Oh, it would look like a bright. Yeah. Maybe if we get time, we can add a bit of colour in. Okay. All right. I've got some pencils sat here. We could have a bit of a play with that. Okay. So almost there. As I say, you know, you can always go in and add more if you need to. Or if there's bits, see, like here, I feel like I've missed a little bit here. Oh, so it's something to look forward to then, isn't it? You know, feet up, cup of tea in the morning. Just going to add a little bit more into there too. You see, I didn't really add colour it in, did I? I just sort of did a bit of a scribble. And then in we go. There we are. Okay, let's have a look at that so far. Okay, hey, look at that. The white really gives off those highlights and it's sort of, it looks almost embossed, doesn't it? Oh, so yes, it's quite nice. No, it's all right, Jackie. Oh, yes, Julie Warden. And I think because we've got those greys in, I mean, I'm sure it'd look nice in other colours, but I think there's something about the monochrome and the grey, isn't it, that makes a bit of a difference. Okay, well, let's throw a little bit of colour in. Let's have a look what we've got here. Okay. So, let's add a little bit of a magenta-y colour. Oh, quick sip of tea. Needed that. Let's go in there then. that's it. I'm just going to pick one end. So I'll actually pick the section or the end that's slightly darker than the other bits. There we go. A bit of purple as well. Just in there on the top section there. Okay. Oh, and of course we need a white. Just got to find my white. Oh, my desk is sort of tidy, but it's just on an angle I can't quite grasp it. In a second. There we go. A bit of white. Okay. All right. Tortillon. Oh. Now my desk's a bit wider than I am tall. So hang on a second. Do I have another tortillon? Yes. There we go. Oh no. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, I'm going to have to crack open a new one. All right. Oh, look. Brand new tortillon. Where are we? Here we go. Okay. So, just ever so gentle. Nice swirling motions. I'm going to try not to go over the whole of that white section. I want a little bit of a highlight. So let's take it round and work it in. There we are. Now what I would do with this is I'd always do a couple of layers using pastels. So I do the first one, a bit of a blow there. There we go. And then go in with a second layer. Now I might even, go in and add extra colours, so maybe a touch of blue. But just for the purposes of this, I'll just stick with the two I've got, plus the white. And then it starts to build. If you find it's not really going anywhere, then add a bit of hairspray and let it settle, and then go in again. Do another layer over the top of the hairspray. And that will allow you to build, because the hairspray will fix it in position. So then whatever you do on the top... Oh, I do apologise. Oh, Christmassy ones. Now, there's no reason why we couldn't do a Christmassy one at some point. I do want to look at borders, really, because we've not really done that. So, there we go. It's just with pastels, it's so much easier to get that blend, because you can use the tortillon. You don't really need to, blend them all together by hand. There we go. Okay. So let's go a little bit larger. Oh, Bernadette, yeah, get yourself some pastels if you've not got any, and try them and see how you get on. Because if it's pencils you're struggling with, you do have to work a little bit harder with the pencils to get a really nice blend. But you start really quite light and build up the layers. And if you expect it to sort of happen in the first row, in the first layer, it's not gonna. You need to build it up. Okay, I'm just going around this shape now with some little dots. There we go. And then you can see I can extend it, look around and into that section there. Oh, Julie, it's not, well, sometimes, maybe, hang on a second, let's have a look. Have I got one that's not very sharp? Just give me 1 second. Let's have a look at what I've got. Oh, here we go. So there you go. Let's go out a little bit. I've got a pastel and it's not that sharp. And let's just work on, there you go, something to work on. I've got here a sharpener that my friend Leslie brought me, actually, so I can't remember where she got it from. But the idea is, if you're gentle and rather than turn the pastel, turn the sharpener. Yeah. And you just take your time with it. Oh, I haven't said that. Take your time with it, and I've broke it. But take your time with it, and generally it does come off okay. I do also have an electric sharpener that I use as well, so that's not so bad. Oh, I see. There you go. Let's try that again. Let's just take our time. See, just move the sharpener nice and gentle. There we go. You see? And then a second. There you go. So it just sharpens. So you just take your time with it and don't put any pressure on. Just let the sharpener do all the work, and then that should be okay from there. That should give you fine. I do use my electric one. And again, as long as you don't put a load of pressure on, I think that's the key. Just sort of be gentle with it. Okay. Again, yeah. Yeah, you can, Jackie. There's a nice Faber-Castell pencil sharpener that you use as well. That's quite a nice one. I think that just the key is just to sort of be oh, there we go. Just to be gentle with it. Okay. So, here we go. I'm just going to add in some more of those little bubbles around that ring shape. It's just adding texture. Now, it did cross my mind, and I have tried doing this before and adding the bubbles in and then shading, but you want to build up sort of layers, and it's nice to have that shadow underneath and then build it from there. Oh, does it, Glenys? That's nice to know. So it's something slightly more pastel-y, and it gives it a really nice finish. I think trying to do it on a darker tile or a lighter, obviously the black and the white doesn't show up as much as you'd like it to. And there we go. See a little bit there. Yeah, Jackie, they are nice. Their products are nice. So they've been going quite a while. I think they know what they're doing by now. Yeah. Alright. So you can see here, this actually, the white will look a bit whiter because it's got that shading underneath. It's just nice to sort of build the layers. So if we'd have done this and then gone over with the pencil, you wouldn't have seen it as clear. Okay, back in with pencil. Alright, it's going a little bit larger. Now I'm not going to even think about blending this, but what I am going to do is, you know, my famous little smirk on those little bubbles. Nothing too much, so I don't think they've got to be absolutely perfect. We just want to get in a little bit of pencil. So I'm doing it on the same side on each one. So let's turn it. There we go. And same thing again. You see, because we're working the same as before, we're going inside the white. There we are. It's just starting to add that little bit of depth. And another one. Again, just a little curve. You see, and I'm keeping it on the same side on each one. So again, that concern about where light and shade's coming from, it's not necessary. There we are. See here, I might just add a touch in there, look. Just because. Make sure you use the right tortillon, like the one with the graphite. There we go. And last one. In there. And just working my way around. Just filling in each one of those bubbles. Just adding this extra little bit of detail, it makes all the difference. There we are. Okay. Alright, back to white pen. Okay, so round the outside I'm going to come back to a traditional sort of shape, one we know quite well, and I'm just going to sort of take inspiration from this shape here, and I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. So here we go, a couple of lines. Let's go a little bit larger so you can see it. A little curve, and then round and up and round and up, and then the same again, a couple of lines. See, we know this one, and we are, and let's add in a few. See, again, it doesn't matter about whether the shape's perfect each time or whether they're all the same, but you know, I have made my little stems a little bit longer than I perhaps normally would. I want them a little bit larger because I want to put some shadow in these as well, and if they're a little bit too small, then you'll find that you don't quite get the effect that we're after. Okay, and then of course there's not forgetting our little zingers. You can add some of those in. There we are. And into there as we're going. Okay, next bit. So I'm going to work my way around. Again, I'm not trying to make this symmetrical, or I'm not repeating it. If you find that you are and you can't help it, start somewhere else. You see, I didn't start in the middle there, but on this time it was just nice to go elsewhere, and then you can't do the same thing. You see? Okay, let's have one this way. Oh, John's cooking our evening meal tonight. He did sort of say, "What do you want?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. What can he cook?" So I think we're having sausage. Yeah, he can do sausage. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, it might be scrambled egg. He does a good breakfast. We could do that. I don't know what he's doing, but I just thought I'll go with it because I've asked him and he says, "All right, then I'll do it." Okay, there you go. Oh, Bernadette, that doesn't sound too good. Hope you get that sorted soon. Yeah, goodness me. At least hopefully, you know, when we're doing this, it takes your mind off it a little bit, just for a little while. Doing the book, I think I tangled so much, I've got a lump on my little finger. It'll go down, just, you know, because obviously I'm leaning on it all the time. So yeah, that was interesting. Okay, there's another one up there, and the last sort of section here. So you can see that they are quite a lot bigger than what I'd normally do. There we are. Oh, isn't it nice, you know, when we all sort of work and rally together? It's nice that we all support each other. Some of us aren't well at the minute, or, you know, we've gone through quite a lot, haven't we, through these 61 tiles. You know, we've suffered losses, we've had, you know, really good positive moments, and, you know, some of us have been ill, or have been in hospital, or known people that have. It's just lovely that you support each other. It's what crafting should be. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at that. There we are. Okay, so back in with pencil, and I'm going to go a little bit larger now, just as I did before. Just on one end, just, you know, just as we do there, nothing major. But then here on the little leaves, I'm going to do just a line on the inside, and then I'm going to do a line on the outside, you see? And then on the little stalk, just a line on the inside. Can't quite get on the outside, but if you can. And then same here on the inside, and then on the outside. And then a little bit, if you can, inside, outside. Alright? So we're just going to keep that going. Inside, outside. Same with the little stalk. A little bit on my one side of my zinger. Just repeat that. You see now why I wanted them just a little bit larger, because obviously when we use the tortillon and smooth these out, we want a little bit of space for the pencil to travel. There we go. So there's that one. So what I'm going to do, I'll have a Jackie. I don't know why. Wonder if it's because my mum was ringing me. No, I had to sort of decline her phone number. Just for now, I'll ring her back in a minute. There we go. Obviously, again, a bit of a critique. My mum always watches the show and she'll be like, yeah, couldn't you have done this? Couldn't you have done that? Okay, just a little bit of pencil one side of those fingers. You see, nothing much there. But, of course, following it round. There we go. And bits there. Let's add a touch there. You see, I'm turning it round each time, and then I'm just repeating what I did before. Just on the inside and then on the outside. Same with that little stalk. Oh no, it's all right. She doesn't. I don't think she'll have known that I was doing the live this evening. She'll have expected me to do it this afternoon. So, my mum time goes out the window. She has no idea. Love you, Mum. Well, no, she'll be fine. I'll ring her back in a bit. It's all good. There we are. Just working it round. There we go. I tell you what is really nice when my mum rings and she's on speakerphone. Benji talks to her. He sits there listening and he joins in the conversation. I have never had a dog that talks before. I mean, obviously when I say talk, he doesn't like have a full-blown conversation and ask her how she is. But, thank you. But, yeah, he does, he gets his fair share of whines and whinges in. She's always telling her that we're neglecting him or something, or he's not having enough biscuits. Yeah, he's certainly a character, and so is my mum. Alright, see there, let's have a look at this. There you go. So again, same as before, is I'm going to go in now. Just my zingers, I'm just going to sort of soften the edge a little bit. And then I'm just going to soften the inside and the outside. Now, if the outside happens to go over one of the other leaves, that's fine. But try and leave some area within the leaf where you don't have any of the pencil, because it's just nice to have that sort of highlight coming through as such. Okay. So just working, oh, don't forget my zinger, in that, and then in there, alright, there we go, just smooth that off, and just work it round, a little bit in there, and there. You see, you notice that I'm not really going in and trying to soften the edges on the little stems. I think they're so fine anyway, they don't really need anything. So if you can't get in there, don't yeah, they are. Yeah, don't think, oh, I've got to get in there and shade it. Don't worry about it, it's fine. If you can't get in there, leave it. Okay. Alright, so you see just little bits, and it's not that I'm not being seriously precise. It's just about sort of moving the pencil just a slight amount, just to give that effect of the shadow. There we go. Just working it through, adding a touch of zinger, and then at the section. Oh really? Do we all have dogs that talk? I mean, I know that they bark. Benji doesn't really bark. To be honest, if Benji barks, he frightens himself because he doesn't know where it's come from. Where is that? He's still not sure if his tails is. If he sees his tail, he tries to attack it. But yeah, he most definitely whinges and whines. It was quite bad when I had to stay over at Create and Craft last time. You know, so it was the pick of the day. It's a really early start. And when I got back that evening, he sat on my knee and he just mumbled all night. Well, Mum, you left me. Wow, look at that. Okay, so it's a totally different sort of technique here. That rather than shading around the outside or changing, and it's sort of almost an embossed effect. Oh, Rhiannon, is she? So we can, I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't think I'm going to do anything else with it. I mean, you could go in and put a border if you wanted to, but I think that's all it needs. So I think with that in mind, it's just lovely, isn't it? I really like that. I mean, you could go in and, you know what I'm going to add? A couple of little bubbles just in places. And of course a little bit of sparkle if you want to, or, you know, a bit of a highlight in there. There we are. It's amazing what you can do with a white pen. I love my white pens. See, not too much. A little bit. There we go. So I hope that's given you a little bit of food for thought, and you're going to have a go at that, whether you do it on a different colour tile. But as I say, try and keep it pastel-ish. You can avoid the white and the blacks, and avoid like the Bordeaux's kind of colours, and try and stick with something that's a little bit sort of more subdued. And of course, you know, let's I'm going to put my signature. Let's add my signature in there. But enjoy it. It's a different technique. It's something that you might think, oh, quite like this, and do a few more. It's very lacy, isn't it? So play with it. So, okay, thank you ever so much for joining me. It's been really, really nice. It's a nice evening. I'm all chilled now. I was chilled before, but I'm all chilled now. I'm going to go down and have, we'll see what John's done in the kitchen. That could be interesting. And all being well, I will see you all on Friday at the usual time, back in the office at 2 o'clock. So hopefully see you there. Obviously, you know, post, let me see what you've been doing with it. And yeah, I will see you on Friday. Okay, you have a lovely evening, or what's left of it. And I'll see you soon. You take care, everybody. Bye.